Hey there, just a quick word of warning before we begin. In between our first two recording sessions and starting to upload these episodes, one of our players, the first one I introduce, actually changed her name and pronouns. So while you're listening, please be advised that the name and pronouns that we use for her are outdated. Everything should be good to go starting with our second hunt, but please be advised that we are using outdated information in these first couple episodes. Thank you for understanding. Fringe theory is based around the genre and trope of various horror and thriller media. Please view the episode description for a full list of content warnings. Thank you. We like to think that our own beliefs about the natural or unnatural won't ever touch us, that while a ghost or demon might exist somewhere, we'd reasonably never expect to see or talk to one in our daily lives, at least not in the street or in our homes. It's a comforting thought though, isn't it? That we're only in danger from things we understand. So while you can sit in your cozy beds daydreaming about your zombie apocalypse game plan, or what comes next when aliens make landfall, I'm here with one hand on speed dial and the other on a deadbolt. Take it from me when I say you don't need to understand the complicated pseudoscientific physiology of a werewolf or a shark man to know that if something with that many teeth comes running at you, well, you're going to need a lot more than your 12 gauge to see the sun rise again. You're going to need an expert, a team. Hate 'em all you want, but when hell breaches our high waters, I know those 4 out-of-towners, suspicious as they may be, will do what's right. Because without them, the only thing you have to be worrying about when facing down your vampires or goatmen ain't how to be getting out alive. It's whether you taste better salted or spiced. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Bones and Story Actual Play podcast. My name is Nicklas, though my friends call me Flux, and I will be your GM. Today is our setup session for Monster of the Week by Michael Sands. I'm here with my friends Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin. I'm an indie game developer and artist.
Sammi.
Hi, I'm Sammi. I'm your local furry, and I love visual novels.
Perry.
Hi, I'm Perry, and I'm your local whore for horror.
And Valentine.
I'm Valentine. I collect old poetry books, and I can recite every line from the Aristocats.
This is a setup episode, so if you want to skip to episode 1, that's fine. This episode might be longer than average, we're not sure, but we do recommend sticking around for this episode. We're going to be setting up the setting we're playing in, and introducing the characters. Once we start playing, we're going to cut straight to the action, so if you want to be in the loop, you get the inside scoop. Oh, that rhymes. No, if you want to be in the loop, you can just stick around. It's going to be fun regardless. So, as I said before, we are playing Monster of the Week by Michael Sands. That means that you 4 are playing as a troupe of monster hunters. And we've talked about this off mic, but the setup for this game, we've decided, is that you 4 have come to investigate a strange, secluded rural town out in... I don't know, we haven't gotten that far yet. Some of the touchstones I have in my head for this season is like Gravity Falls, or Higurashi, or Pathologic, or Scarlet Hollow, those types of things. And don't worry if you, listener, don't know any of these. It's not necessary, but the basics of it is this. It's this vibe of outsiders having come to town and contending with both uncovering the strangeness of this mysterious secluded town and dealing with potential distrust from the townsfolk who don't like outsiders meddling in their way of life. But this town doesn't exist yet, and that's what we're going to be dedicating the first half of what we do today to. So, the first thing, before we need, is to define the sort of vague cultural touchstone of this town. You know, a town in the southern bayou is going to have a completely different feel to it than a town high in the Appalachian Mountains, and that's going to have a different feel than, like, some old village off in the seaside, you know? So, any of you have any ideas? What are we feeling? Getting a little check here?
I for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, I've been linked on like Minnesota. like wintry kind of.
Okay.
Like backwatery Minnesota.
Yeah,
Kind of like Fargo, maybe. Have you ever watched Fargo?
yeah, kind of like you could like maybe be like an hour from the Mall of America.
Yeah, like technically high civilization isn't that like big civilization isn't that far away, but this is a pretty small place that makes you feel like you're so far away from everything. Like I
Mhm.
imagine a ton of trees.
Oh yeah, like like a town that's maybe a little older. Like you've got like some brick buildings. It's not like modernized.
The internet connection could use some work.
Yeah, they're running on like DSL.
Their cell service is ass.
I was feeling more of a Rhode Island island town, a fishing village.
Really?
Ooh.
Is there a way we could combine these two ideas? Is it particularly like woodsy in Rhode Island? I don't know. I've never been there
Rhode
before.
Island is like dense. It's the smallest state. Are you looking, Perry, for like specifically like a beach town? Or
Like
like,
a fishing town.
because I was thinking like move this maybe to like Michigan off of the Great Lakes.
Ooh.
I was imagining a town by a lake. That was actually something I wrote down when I was thinking of ideas.
Actually, I was googling a fishing town, and one of the immediate ones that came up as like maybe as a sort of touchstone is Leland, Michigan. If you guys want to Google that.
Okay.
Ooh.
When I googled fishing town, that was the first one that sort of came up.
Ooh, now
So-
this is nice and kitschy.
Ooh,
Oh,
we are
yeah.
so kitschy.
I also kind of imagine that when you're not surrounded by water, it's a very thickly forested area, like the kind of place where you have to like drive for a second to get to like actual places.
Like you've got like your local grocery stores, but if you wanted to go to like maybe a Walmart or something, you'd have to maybe like be like 20 minutes just to get on like the highway and head over to like a town.
Yeah, no. Is this kind of what we're feeling then? The sort of fishing village aesthetic?
Like Lake Michigan.
I'm actually kind of basing the vibe I'm feeling off of where me and my family went on vacation last summer, which was 3 hours north and was in fact in like next to a lake in the woods in Michigan.
All right. So, fishing village. We got that down. Perfectly secluded on all ends, just the way we like it. So, now we're going to play a little game. Off mic, I have tasked the 4 players with coming up with one mundane and one mysterious fact about a town. And this is just going to sort of help us flesh out the town and make it more personalized to everyone rather than just foisting it all on me to do everything. So let's start with mundane facts. Does anyone want to go first with their mundane fact?
I
of this
do.
town?
I really do.
Me first.
Oh.
Aw.
Okay. Justin's been excited. Justin, you've been telling me like off mic a
I am
lot about
so-
how you're
I'm
excited.
No,
for
I
this.
think we should rock paper scissors.
Let's roll dice. Let's roll dice.
How are we gonna rock paper scissors over?
Let's roll dice right
Computer.
now. I'm gonna roll a d20.
Okay. Each of you roll a d20, I guess. I didn't think we'd actually be rolling dice in this. Okay, Valentine got a 15.
Wait,
I didn't know Sammy was rolling.
Fuck it,
for
I'm rolling
this.
2 then.
Perry's gonna get a 1.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay, roll, Justin.
My
Fuck!
man's got a fucking 3.
Lol.
15, 17, 10, and 3. I guess Sammy gets to go first for mundane facts. Oh, you poor sod. You poor thing.
My mundane fact is that people in this town mostly get around by bike. There's not much space for cars, and the one bus broke down years ago.
Everything is like more or less walkable. I like that actually.
Something like that.
I think
I
that
appreciate a
can-
walkable city.
I love walkable cities.
I feel like that more like close to each other claustrophobic feeling also feeds better into the types of media we're pulling our
sense.
inspirations from.
Valentine, you got a 15. You're next.
Teehee. My mundane fact is that most, if not all, of the businesses that are in this small town are independently or family run. except they are, because of their proximity to larger cities, they are in danger of being taken over and bought out by larger corporations.
Interesting. Okay. It's pretty standard. I like it. Adds a little bit of danger.
I love me a small business
Oh, yeah.
town.
Mom and pop shops.
I do appreciate small businesses. Perry, you would be next with a 10.
This town has one of those big, wealthy families that's always threatening to suffocate the smaller community.
Oh, so this kind of feeds maybe a little bit back into what Valentine was saying. What how did this family get their money?
Through the local winery.
Ooh. We have a local winery?
You guys I don't think either of you would like know this, but Valentine's actually been like trying to get sommelier certification.
Really?
I have. I've been talking to
that's
I'm going to be talking to my wine professor about it.
So from what I'm getting between you and Sammy's, this sort of like big wine family has connections out to the big city and is trying to like threaten to suffocate the local businesses.
Yeah.
What's the family name?
The Vinicellis.
Vinicellis.
Ooh.
Fuck.
Ooh, they're Italian.
But also kind of give the people of this town more reason to
Makes
be very
sense.
wary about outsiders.
And we have
Oh, Justin.
Yeah.
we've let Justin
With my fucking 3.
It's okay. I won't make you guys roll next time.
I think we should.
Just roll better.
Okay, damn, all right.
I think for the mysterious facts, we should go in reverse order.
Hell yeah.
All right. Okay, Justin, what's your fact? I've been waiting for this. You've been hyping it up.
So there's a bowling alley in this town, and there is a decades-long rivalry between 2 different bowling teams that has gotten out of control. Their kids aren't allowed to talk to each other. Like, it's become like a Romeo and Juliet kind of thing.
Oh my god, Capulets and Montagues.
But it's all over like a petty bowling tournament that's held every year.
Oh my god.
2 alleys, both like
In the fair city where we lay our scene.
Okay. So this is pretty good. Now, I've had something in mind, and if you know me and if you know this type of media, the tropes, you might be able to already guess what my fact about this town is. But hearing about there's a winery, I didn't actually have a lot of details about this, so I'm giving the floor to all of you if you want to build this idea. But every year, this town has a harvest festival.
Ooh.
Ooh. Nothing bad ever happens at a festival.
We cannot have this kind of like story without at least one festival.
You gotta have a small town festival with weird traditions.
With weird traditions, probably a lot of baggage. The Vinicellis are probably up to some shit. Who knows what's going on there?
Wow.
But there we go. 5 mundane facts. And now, if you all want to roll a d20 again, the only times you get to roll a d20, not even in this like game, but probably in the entire podcast. We don't use d20 systems.
Ooh.
My ass rolled it too.
Get food, idiot.
get 2
I rolled an
idiots.
11.
I thought we were going in reverse order. Why are you laughing, Justin?
Because Perry got lower than I did. Oh my god!
Nice.
Nice.
Justin, I have a really
Yeah.
funny fun fact for you. We're going in reverse. You're last again.
We did say this. Okay,
Well, my number's bigger than your number, so
so we're going in reverse order, and these are mysterious, unexplainable facts about the town. This is what makes the town weird. This is sort of why you 4 shucklefucks are here in the first place. So, what is your mysterious fact, Perry?
I'm excited because like Justin's bowling idea, this is one I've been holding on to.
Oh boy.
This town has an alleyway that nobody goes through. Why? Can't really say, but it is full of missing persons flyers.
Oh.
Ooh.
Alley that kills you.
They went to the alley that makes you old.
just both walls of this alley completely plastered with missing persons.
Like, to the point that you can't even see the walls of the alley anymore. It's just papers.
Exactly.
I am loving this. I guess with a 6, Valentine would be next for a weird fact, a mysterious
me.
fact.
My mysterious fact is that any animals that have been like caught on the side of the road, they lay there for a few days. And then half decayed, they get back up and just walk back into the forest. Nobody really talks about it.
Fuck.
Okay.
Okay!
So roadkill just kind of gets back
Gets
up.
back up.
Roadkill just gets back up, yeah. It's road live now.
All right, Sammi.
All paper in this town is inexplicably old, curled and yellowed like a library book that's been passing hands for too long. Fresh paper brought in will rapidly age for no discernible reason.
Hey, so you guys remember the alleyway?
Oh god, the alleyway. Alleyway that makes you old.
I forgot about the alleyway. Fuck!
All of the missing persons papers now are just like really old parchment.
Impossible to decipher.
Like, you
Wow.
know when you, like, get a library book that's, like, really old and been passed around for too long, and it, like, smells that weird way that it does, and the papers are
Yeah.
yellow and curled?
Do you ever see like a family album taken it like from like 30 years ago? Aged.
So all paper in this town is inexplicably aged. Interesting. And Justin going last again.
People in this town don't know what Sunday is.
Oh god, the Sabbath.
Excuse me?
There's no Sabbath.
Elaborate.
they're-
Like, do they believe there's 6 days of the week, or is the 7th day something different?
What do you mean? What do you mean they believe they're sick? There is only 6 days in a week.
Oh man.
It's
Oh,
Monday,
boy.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday
Okay,
again.
so does Saturday go right back to Monday, or is there, like, a weekless day?
No, it's just like you go like you like go to sleep on Saturday and you wake up and it's Monday, and people in this town do not
Okay,
know
yeah,
what
no, that's
Sunday
normal.
is.
That's how the week works.
So do these people at least get like Friday off or something? Or do they only get one day to rest?
I mean, that depends on the employer.
What do their calendars look like?
If you can imagine a calendar that has one less day on the end of the week.
And it's also very old and yellow
Yes. There are no Sundays here. Unless you're talking about ice cream.
I can already imagine the concept of a calendar just being like encapsulating so many of the weird facts we threw out right now.
Wow.
So I've got to think of a weird fact now. I had a couple kind of flitting through my head,
Mm-hmm.
but hearing something from our mundane kind of gave me inspiration.
Oh?
So the reason the what was it, the Vinicellis?
Perry, spell that for us. Please write it down so we have it.
You think I know how to spell it? I just made it up.
Oh,
on the spot.
Man, it's your creation.
And no, it's like Zanicelli, but with a V and an E.
Okay, Valentine's Italian. Valentine wrote it down. It's
You're just gonna out VA
Villis.
Italian like that in front of all of our listeners?
I'm so sorry.
Wow. That was rude.
It's fine, don't worry. Justin's also Italian.
I'm not.
Justin's like Jersey Italian though. I'm Midwest Italian, they're different.
So the reason that people are kind of like nervous about the Vinicellis,
Mhm.
right? I mean, obviously there's like the mundane, like they might use their wealth and power to buy up the town and whatever. But every once in a while, people have tried to figure out when it's going to happen and they don't know when. It happens at complete random, but occasionally it rains Vinicelli wine.
Oh,
Okay.
That's so normal. Fun fact, actually, I had like two weird facts down just in case somehow somebody had the same one as me. And my backup one was the fact it just inexplicably rains black sometimes.
Well, now it inexplicably rains delicious wine.
It rains purple. Sorry, I got disconnected there for a minute. What?
it rains wine.
Oh, cool.
It rains wine sometimes, and no one knows why or how. but it's certainly there. Does anyone have any other facts, both mundane or mysterious alike? Because I know I said to like maybe think of backups in case someone stole yours.
My backup for my mundane is honestly pretty similar to what we decided for the town's vibe. But I'll still say it anyways.
Okay.
Because I said that the town overlooks a lovely lake and boating and fishing are top pastimes around here. You're very likely to be invited on a fishing trip sooner or later.
Okay.
And my backup mundane was they have one of those water towers that's been graffitied repeatedly.
Yes.
I fucking
Okay.
love those.
All right, we can add those to the town. I think that's great. Does anyone else have any mundane or mysterious facts they'd like to also tack onto this town? Doesn't sound like it, so are you guys ready to move on then?
Move on.
Ready to go?
So, last thing we're going to do for this town, we have all this info. We need to christen it with a name.
What about Harbor Falls, Michigan?
Ooh.
It's a little,
Yeah.
cliche.
The town and the lake share a name, but which came first?
Although the lake is Lake Michigan. This is my town, Michigan.
I mean, there's 5
yeah, I guess it could be.
lakes.
Do we call the town Superior?
No.
How about, hold on, I'm gonna type the pint water.
Pint water.
Pint water.
Pint water.
I think pint water has some,
I like
has
pint
some
water.
legs. So I was looking up, because this is a fishing town, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As a potential other name, I was looking up weirdest fish names, and one of the ones here is a sarcastic fringe head.
Whoa. Sarcasm.
So maybe naming the town Fringe could be interesting. The
The
town of Fringe. Or Fringe Water, maybe.
I like fringe water.
I can't go with French water because I'll just call it cringe water instead.
That's true.
You get one.
I'll slip.
No, I really like Fringe Water. Maybe that's what the shithead teens
That's
of
what-
this town
That's
call
what
it.
they put on
Fringe
the fucking
water.
water tower.
They turned the F into a C.
I wasn't entirely on Fringe water, but honest to God, that has sealed it for me.
I can't wait to get out of this town, man. I'm not living my entire life in cringe water.
Jeez.
I'm gonna cry.
So we are now investigating the town of Fringewater. Does that sound good for everyone?
Yeah.
Awesome. So now that we have a town that is very mysterious and that you four are going to investigate, we need to know who you are. I've put in the Discord 4 PDFs. I very much implore you to open them up. Okay, and these are form fillable too, so we'll go through them and then you can save them. Does anyone want to go first in introducing who you are playing as this season?
Me.
Sammi. Oh, Sammy's got it. All right, Sammi. So, first things first, I would like you to say what is your name and what is your playbook you are playing as today. To whom do I have the pleasure today?
Today you have the pleasure of Millie Bizarre, the Spooktacular playbook.
And can you read the description on the Spooktacular just right under the name there?
I've traveled all over, pretty much everywhere you can make $1. I've made people happy and I guess annoyed a few, but everywhere you go as monsters, this show included.
Ooh, Dark Carnival, brother. Let's go. Tell me a bit more about Millie.
So Millie is the ringleader of the Bedlam Carnival, which is a traveling carnival that mostly focuses on very macabre and disturbing sights, the greatest show on earth type kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
And Millie is the ringleader, and she loves to hold the crowd. She loves to be the center of attention. She's loud and attention grabbing and doesn't take things very seriously. And she has the uncanny capability to essentially use hemomancy, basically blood magic. She can create dramatized, fucked up images of people being gored or injured for entertainment, but then at the end they just go right back together. They're completely fine.
And that's kind of the main crux of the Bedlam Circus is like, you're not here to see trapeze artists succeed. You're here for the Dark Carnival. You're here to see people get fucked up and then get back up.
Exactly. The greatest show on earth.
You're basically like a traveling live leak in a sense.
Ooh.
To a sense, yes. It's funny because Millie is actually kind of horrified by the concept of real death and murder. Why would you do that? But she has a lot of fun with the exaggerated, no consequences shows of the Bedlam Carnival.
I mean, all of us here are huge horror fans. We love slashers.
yeah.
I think we can speak for Millie. What does Millie kind of look like? You don't need like an image ref or anything, but just give us a vibe. Give us a sense.
Millie's about like mid-30s, I would say. She has a sort of typical kitschy ringleader uniform, long black trench coat, pinstriped top. And she has a very big, tall brimmed top hat with the same like black and white stripes on it, and she has these this black and white X pattern of face paint across her cheeks.
Ooh. So kind of like something similar you might see in like Juggalo face paint, that sort of like black and white monochrome.
Yes.
I love that.
Actually, Flux, adjust glasses.
yeah.
It's called corpse paint.
Wow.
You wanna get up here, Perry? You wanna be the GM now?
No.
Make him do it. Make him do it.
No. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so we're going to make Millie's playbook now. So first things first is the show. You spent a long time with a traveling show and get an ability based on its style. Are you still with them? If so, how do you balance work and monster hunting? If you left, why is that? First of all, which of these show specialties do you want to take? I think I know what one you're going to take, but...
I think based on the way that Millie's character and capabilities are, I am drawn to magic and illusions.
Magic and illusions. You can cast confounding spells. When you weave an illusion, roll plus weird. On a 10+, everyone is fooled. They are either led in a direction of your choice, or you and those you choose escape undetected. On a 7 to 9, it doesn't quite work. Misdirect or escape is a 10+ result, but the keeper chooses one. Either someone isn't fooled, or you gain unwelcome attention. On a miss, it goes badly as magic always does. So the way I imagine this is flavored is like, you create a guy and he immediately like just explodes or like his head falls off or some other messed up shit.
Yeah.
Awesome. So magic and illusions, you get that. You get all of the basic moves, obviously, and 2 spooktacular moves you'll see on the right side of the first page of your playbook. So you pick 2 of these.
All right.
Also, I should ask, because from what you've described, you're still with the Bedlam Circus?
Yes.
And how do you balance that sort of work-life balance?
The way that this is balanced is, well, as you can imagine from the way the Bedlam Circus is, they face a bit of trouble. There's a lot of rumors about people actually dying at the carnival. They get the cops called on them a lot, and as a result, the Bedlam Circus sometimes struggles to keep its doors open because it has to combat with that. And so during their off seasons where they are working on, handling legal matters, evading police, Millie and the other high-ups in the carnival have other jobs to help make money, not just for themselves, but to keep the carnival going.
Okay.
And Millie decided to use her own knowledge of the magic and weird to monster hunt.
Okay, so this season will take place in the off season.
Yes.
So do you know what moves you were going to pick then? You get all of the basic moves and 2 spooktacular moves.
I think I want the game is fixed.
The game is fixed. When you use magic in a crowded and chaotic place like a fairground, take +1 forward. You can also choose the following effects whenever you use magic. Someone fails a skilled task, you disappear unnoticed and untraceable in a crowded and chaotic scene, you can instantly set up or pack away a carnival stall or campsite, you can track someone, or you can get a bunch of cash.
Real.
I'm flip-flopping between put on a show and pay it backward.
I think pay it backward could be interesting. Pay it backward is give yourself or someone else an advantage on any roll. Roll 3 dice and select the best 2 for your result. Whenever you do this, the keeper gains 1 hold. That hold may be spent to give any hunter, but usually you, a disadvantage. Roll 3 dice and select the worst 2 instead. I think that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Chemomancy sort of dabbling also in a bit of like luck magic, maybe.
Yeah.
Or just like being a generally lucky/unlucky person. So we're gonna go with pay it backwards then?
I think so.
All right. So we've got your 2 moves. Now you get gear.
The gear.
You get 1 camp tool, 1 vehicle, 1 mystical item, and all the paraphernalia. So you get 1 camp tool, which is either a pocket knife or multi-tool, a mallet, a crowbar, a baseball bat or similar, a hatchet, or a sock full of coins. Knowing what I know about you, Sammy, I feel like this is a gimme.
Why is butter sock out? I'm not
I don't
thinking
know.
of butter sock, but I like that it's an option.
You could take the butter sock.
I think you should take the butter sock.
I'm not doing the butter sock. I'm gonna go ahead and be predictable. I'll take the hatchet.
Let's go.
We all saw it coming.
The chop chop slide, Sammy.
Top slide.
It's funny that you, Sammy, were the one who said that this was generally a vehicle-less town, because you, as a spooktacular, get a vehicle, either a pickup truck, a normal truck, a van, or a motorcycle and sidecar.
In my head, right? I'm sitting
Right.
here in my head. I'm thinking either the motorcycle for its like simplicity and ability to work on like the roads that I described, or the pickup for being like a more like narrow type of vehicle. If
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah, sure. Let's go with the motorcycle.
All right. So you also get a mystical item, either ghost shades, a really big animated plush dog, a returning $100 bill, a scamulet, or a wizard's tent.
I'm looking at either the wizard tent or the really big plush dog.
It would be really fun to have the plush dog. The wizard tent's also very
The
utilitarian.
the dog
so-
is what rides around in the sidecar.
Oh my god.
Cause I can so much imagine like Millie using that like shitty plush dog for like shows and stuff, and otherwise just like dragging it around with her.
It smells like old milk.
It's a fuck.
Oh.
Shut up.
Oh no.
No, no. Why did you?
Ultimately, the decision is yours alone, so.
Really big plush dog.
All right, you have a really big plush dog.
It's alive.
Somehow this came to life. It's kind of like a regular dog? ? Sammy, what's the dog's name?
Its name
Its name
is Tomato Soup.
is Tomato
Oh,
Soup.
yeah.
Tomato soup. I love naming dogs after food.
You also get paraphernalia. You have all of this crap. Tickets to a show, snack vouchers, a deck of cards, pairs of dice, magic trick props, camping gear, makeup, and costume accessories. You just have all of that in your coat.
Just have all of that random I know she has one of those coats that has like a bajillion pockets on the inside. Like a hey kid wanna buy some drugs type coat.
Hey kid, want tickets to my show? Opens up my coat and it's just a row of papers.
Old papers.
Old papers.
Now, finally, you choose a ratings. There's 5 lines here you can see kind of in the middle of the second page. You need to choose one of these.
I'm gonna go with the bottom one, I think.
Charm +1, cool +1, sharp 0, tough -1, and weird +2. Is that your final answer, Millie Bizarre?
I think it's the one that makes the most sense for her character and her skills.
Awesome. Save that, but keep it up. We'll get back to the history after this. Who wants to go next?
Me first.
Well, it's you second.
Me second.
Okay, so Valentine. To whom do I owe the pleasure?
My character is Hallows Eve Venison, or just Hallow. the monstrous.
And can you read your description?
Mhm. I feel the hunger, the lust to destroy, but I fight it. I never give in. I'm not human anymore, not really, but I have to protect those who still are. That way, I can tell myself I'm different to the other monsters. Sometimes I can even believe it.
So, there's a lot to talk about Hallow, but I guess, first off, what kind of monster, half monster, or whatever, are you?
Hallow is a fey changeling.
Mhm. And what does that mean in this context? 'Cause there's many different changelings in.
In this context, Hallow is a fey child who was switched out with a human child at birth. So she was raised thinking that she was a person.
And then when she reached, like, around puberty-ish is when, we were talking about this. It's not just that Hallow is a changeling. You're burying the lead here. What else is Hallow?
Hallow's cursed.
Oh.
Hallow is mega cursed. How'd that happen?
Hallow is mega cursed, because when she was still very small, she wasn't switched at birth, I misspoke there. She was switched, little later. But, her parents, Seelie Fae, they did something, to piss off the Unseelie court, who are the particularly evil Fae, and they cursed the baby. So her parents switched her out for a healthy human child. Oops!
Unfortunate. And can you tell us a bit about this curse?
Hallowed needs to eat people, or else she'll die. Hallowed gets particular, bouts, I suppose is the right word. She gets bouts of, extreme bloodlust because she needs to eat organs in order to keep herself going. In order to do this, her fey features have developed as elongated claws, and her mouth opens all the way along her jaw and sprouts huge fuck off big teeth that she can bite through anything with.
That's horrifying. I love it.
It just kind of opens almost like a Pac-Man head.
Yeah, like Pac-Man.
But it does. But in good society, you can just kind of like keep that under wraps. The whole, mouth thing.
Yeah, when it's not taking over, Hallow kind of just looks like a normal person who is admittedly kind of looks like a bog witch, but she looks generally very pretty. Except for the really big Glasgow scars stretching all the way from the edges of her mouth to her ears, but that can be covered up with makeup.
You said that she looks like a bog witch. Do you want to give us a bit more of a vibe of what she looks like? Maybe like an age range, kind of like fashion she wears?
Hallow is mid-20s. I would say 24, 25. She has long pitch black hair that kind of sucks up all of the light around it. And she has eyes that you can never really discern the color of. Like, you can't really describe it, what color they are. And she is deathly pale, like pale enough that you can see veins very constantly through her skin. So she's very pretty, but she looks very off. Like things are just slightly to the left.
How would you describe her fashion?
She wears, what is it called? Dark Mori. So she wears a lot of...
You can just like Google Dark Mori if you want a good idea of what Hallow sort of wears. Just go to Google Images and pick any of these images.
She's very big on layers and long skirts and things that you can get really dirty. A lot of her clothes are very tattered up and torn, and she wears a lot of jewelry made out of bones.
Great.
We don't know where those bones came from, though.
Great. So the first step of this is to pick a curse, but you've kind of went over this. There's 4 of them here, but there's really only one that super applies.
Feed.
You must subsist on living humans. It might take the form of blood, brains, or spiritual essence, but it must be from people. You need to act under pressure to resist feeding whenever a perfect opportunity presents itself. Yeah, go ahead and mark that.
Yeah, Hallow needs organs.
Next is your natural attacks. You can either, at the bottom of the curses, you can either pick a base and add an extra to it, or 2 bases.
I'm gonna pick base teeth.
Okay.
Teeth.
Or chompers.
Yeah, I think I want to do base teeth and then ignore armor. She can bite straight through it.
All right.
I'm min-maxing Hellow's teeth.
You also get all of the basic moves, plus you pick 2 monstrous moves. This is sort of you building up your monstrous like powers and what makes you you.
Mhm.
So you get 2 of these moves here.
Okay.
Do you know what you're gonna pick?
I know that I'm doing Claws of the Beast.
All your natural attacks get +1
Jesus
harm.
Christ.
That's 4 harm. Ignore armor.
Well, we found our fucking bruiser of the cast.
That was the
Oh
goal.
my
That was the
God.
plan. I can't play support roles. I need to play women that can attack.
And you also get 1 more move.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking.
I could give a suggestion if you'd like.
I would love a suggestion.
You said that you had like fey beauty of sorts.
Yes, she does.
That sounds like unnatural appeal to me. That's kind of literally what it's made for.
That's true.
Unnatural appeal is roll plus weird instead of plus charm when you manipulate someone.
Mhm.
And spoiler alert, you always get +3 weird as the monstrous.
Ooh. I can mark it for now, but I think I do still want to like maybe take a peek at some of the other ones for something borrowed, but you know.
But for now, gear. If you want, you can take 1 handy weapon. On the second page on the left side, you can either get a .38 revolver, a 9mm, a magnum, a shotgun, a big knife, brass knuckles, a sword, or a huge sword.
I want big knife.
Big knife. Hallow's got a knife. I mean, you gotta get those organs somehow. Teeth can only go so
You
far.
gotta get those organs somehow.
I better start looking through my options, figure out what kind of knife I can take with me.
We are a group of knife wielders.
If that's all, I think your playbook is good if you want to save that. Wait, nope. We gotta get your stats first, your ratings. Wait.
I don't need those. I got teeth.
At the bottom of your left side, there's the 5 ratings. I want you to pick one of those lines that you feel is best.
I am going to do charm -1, cool -1, sharp 0, tough 2, weird 3.
Who wants to go next?
I think I'm gonna offer myself up here.
Or we could have
Alrighty.
Justin keep going last. No, I'm kidding.
I'll kill you.
No. We'll give him a bone this time. To whom might I owe the pleasure? Justin,
Hey, name's Midas Gold.
your playbook.
Oh, I'm the searcher.
Do you want to read the description at the bottom of your playbook for me, please?
There's still so much to be discovered and explained, even now. Perhaps only one event in 1,000 is true weirdness, but I'll investigate them all to find it.
Love the, like, what is that, like a Jersey accent you're doing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Justin is channeling his home.
Jersey boy.
My
So-
home.
So tell me about Midas. Tell me about what makes him the searcher.
Midas is a former, and I say former, I mean disgraced television show host. He used to host America's favorite Show Me the Money, but unfortunately had a bit of a mental breakdown on live TV that has left him without a job.
Oh no.
And why did he have this breakdown?
While visiting a motel a few towns over, just waiting for a gig, he came across a creature of indescribable, like walking into the hall, this creature is almost like a living shadow inside of the hall, taking up nearly all of its space. He runs back into his room to grab his weapon, rushes back out, gun in hand, and it's gone.
Rough.
And now he's got an interview to do in the morning.
I would do it.
Happens to the best of us, King.
Yeah.
And because of this horrifying encounter, you kind of had a mental breakdown on live TV. You think Jimmy Fallon's laughing at that one?
Jimmy Fallon ought to count his fucking days.
Every day, every night, he stabs a pin into a thing of the Tonight Dough.
He's got a little voodoo doll of like, he's got like Howie Mandel. I don't even know if that show's still running.
Should have been me hosting Deal or No Deal. It should have been me.
You think you're some kind of funny guy, Howie? Let's see you laugh now.
The Tonito is genuinely my favorite ice cream. This is slanderous. What does Midas look like? What does Midas look like?
Midas is in his late 30s, early 40s. He is dressed in the same kind of suit that he wore when he hosted his show, albeit it has been torn asunder. I mean, it looks like he wears this and nothing but this.
How glitzy of a suit are we talking here?
See, it wasn't even of the greatest. Midas is cheap as shit. It wasn't even of the greatest quality at the time. It's like a cotton suit, but like, you know, like a lot of suits, have you ever been to like a wedding? Like they're kind of smooth to the touch. This is not that kind of material. It's kind of thicker. It's a little
Is it
rough.
bedazzled?
Yeah, you got sequins on it?
It better be.
I imagine that the sequins are starting to like run loose on it, like the threads are starting to come loose, and like Midas doesn't know how to sew.
Not like you can wash that kind of suit. I mean, like, all the sequins will come off. And that's a worse face than death.
It's like a normal black suit. He is wearing a gold tie. I like to think that's where a lot of the glamour is.
Personality type wears fun ties.
Real.
He's gonna have a different tie in every episode.
You just can't see it because this is an audio-based medium, but it's there.
Yes. I'm gonna describe it at the start of every session.
I'm going to hold you to this.
Today, Midas is wearing a tie that has an embroidered hedgehog on it.
You know that gag from iCarly with Spencer's socks? It's gonna be like that.
Yes!
I'm going to hold you to this. I hope you're prepared.
That'd be great.
Okay. So as the searcher, you get all the moves plus 3 searcher moves. You get the first encounter move. We kind of already described what it is, but
I'm going to be taking cryptid sighting.
You take note of any reports of strange creatures. Whenever you first see a new type of creature, you may immediately ask one of the investigate a mystery questions. And then you pick 2 of the ones on the right side of the playbook there.
So the first thing I'm going to take is it's going to be fellow believer.
People understand you've also known strangeness. Bystanders will talk to you about weird things that they would not trust another hunter or a mundane official to believe.
Yeah, is that Midas Gold? And people come up to me and they just tell me things about their lives. And it's weird. I don't want to talk to these people.
Yeah, I saw a leprechaun stealing my sock once. So like I totally get it.
I totally get it.
I totally get it.
So you have fellow believer, you get 1 more move.
And I believe I've talked to you about this. I'm taking Guardian.
You have a mystical ally, perhaps a spirit, alien, or cryptid, who helps and defends you. Define them and their powers with the Keeper's agreement. Their look is one of invisible and intangible spirit, a weird creature disguised in an animal or disguised as a person. So what's this Guardian?
This fucker is invisible. No one can see him except for Midas, which of course is not helping him in the slightest because there's just a guy now.
Okay, so what does Midas specifically see?
I like to think that Midas is seeing a second him walking around.
Oh my god.
Tourism Tuesday.
Like the anti-Midas. Like he's just negative.
The other one's wearing silver.
All right, so we've got the Nega Midas now. And how does now this is a guardian, this isn't like a tormentor. How does we're gonna need to settle on a name eventually. What does Midas call this figure?
Hang on, guys. I could be really clever here for a second. Hold on. So the reason in the myth that King Midas got the ability to turn things to gold is because he met a satyr and he was kind to the satyr and was rewarded with his wish. The satyr's name was Silenus. Silenus.
I like that actually. I like that a lot.
So how does Silenus act like? And this is a guardian after all, not a tormentor.
I mean like is genuinely very helpful to Midas when Midas is actually reciprocating and able to take in information. Oh, I do like that. He wears a bow tie instead of a tie. Vivi, I like that.
You're welcome.
He is like physical. He can interact with the environment, so he could like attack things if need be, but could also like he's not like tied to Midas. Like he could just walk around and investigate.
He doesn't really have any special powers. He's just a guy.
He's just a guy that Midas is stuck with.
Photo negative, grayscale.
Actually, I do think grayscale is a really cool idea to like make him almost like he's gray, like he's silver.
Okay, yeah, okay. We've got your 2 moves now. Awesome. So on the second page of your playbook, you have, once again, 5 ratings to choose from. Let me know which one you want.
I think I'm gonna take that bottom one there. +1 charm, cool 0, sharp +2, tough -1, weird +1.
Wimp.
Hey, fuck you.
His ass is not strong.
No, he isn't. He's never needed to be strong.
His ass ain't cool either.
So you get a laptop, a car, or another motorcycle, a camera, a binoculars, 2 sets of investigation tools, and 1 self-defense weapon. So there's a list of investigation tools there. You can pick 2 of them.
I've also got I think I'm gonna take a car. I like to think his money is running out, and it is not a good car. I'm going to pick actually what was originally going to be my first car before it completely fucking broke down on me before I could even really use it, and that is a 1999 Chevy Impala.
Wow.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be highly specific about it. I'm gonna send a picture in, and you guys at home can look this up to look at the absolute masterclass cars we have here.
Wow.
A Chevrolet
is-
Impala.
Oh, it's beautiful. Remember we got
Gorgeous.
kind of dog shit roads too.
I mean, if you need to go into the forest and there's roads, maybe, but... So you also get investigation tools.
Yep. So I'm gonna take historical documents and witness reports of strange events.
Is this specifically historical documents for Fringe Water?
This town. Yeah. I'm not entirely certain if I will, but I think it'd be really interesting if the motel he stayed at was in this town.
That could be interesting.
And that like it gives him reason to be here specifically.
Mm-hmm. And we'll go over the histories after we're done creating characters, but that is an interesting part of the dynamic that would be neat.
I think I'm also going to take. I'm going to just take forensic tools. I think those are always going to be useful.
All right. And these are both vague enough that, like, in the moment, you can just describe what you want. You don't have to, like, come up with a list of it in advance. That's kind of how this game works. You also get a self-defense weapon, a walking stick, a small handgun, a small knife, martial arts training, incapacitating spray, or a heavy flashlight.
Oh, to know about Midas's martial arts training.
Real.
Midas is a fucking wimp. He does not have he got a green belt as a child and never proceeded.
He's been riding that high ever since.
Real.
That's what got him his first gig in television.
Don't fuck with me. I'm the green belt.
Do you understand how long it took to sign up for that class and show up for the first lesson?
He only showed up to the first lesson.
And he's still got a green belt. It's
He
impressive.
still has it. He's gonna take a small handgun. I like to think it's your classic like 9mm.
Makes sense.
Hey, I have a.
And I think that is...
Oh, I was just about to say
What's up?
I have a car question. Does Midas's
Okay.
shitty 1999 Impala have like shitty decals of himself on the sides?
Fucking help me.
Yes, but during his mental breakdown, he like tried to like peel them off, and now they're like really fucked up.
It's just like he pulled it off with his nails. Like they're like bumper stickers on it of himself that he had put on there when he was
Oh.
way happier with himself, and now like
Jesus Christ.
like the sign used to say "Watch Midas's show," but now it just says "Mide ass." Like like the apostrophe has been scratched off.
Oh my god.
Help me. Okay, we're done. We're done here. We're done. We're done here. Barry, you're last.
Hi,
To whom do I owe the pleasure?
I'm the Divine.
But who the divine?
Oh, well, I'm just your friendly neighbor.
Friendly neighbor the divine. You want to read that description for me?
I am the light, the sword. I am sent to defend the meek from darkness. All evil fears me, for I am its end.
No, Perry, you know what voice you should be doing
Wow.
for friendly neighbor.
I'm not going to try to do a Hank Hill for this entire thing.
Yep. Yep.
I am the light.
I'm the divine there, you see.
That's not what Hank
That's
Hill-
not Hank
that's
Hill.
not Hank Hill in the slightest.
Okay. Friendly neighbor, my friend, friendly neighbor. Can tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm an angel, a divine being, an apostle born from concept. Everything has a little bit of a god inside of it. Every concept can come to life if enough people believe in it. Like the suburbs.
The suburbs!
And so, what does an angel of a suburb look like?
I look like a dad, like a middle-aged father. But here's the thing, unlike the rest of them, I don't really look the same anytime you look at me.
You're just always this like vague concept of the middle-aged grill dad.
When you see me, you don't really see me, but you understand that I'm there.
Okay, that's
That's
dad.
Dad.
It's your friendly neighbor, the grill dad.
Friendly neighbor can look like anything, but he is always wearing an apron that says, "This dad loves to grill."
I look like what somebody's ideal version of a friendly neighbor is.
Who is also a dad.
Who's also a dad, of course.
I love this already. You all get all the basic moves and pick 3 divine moves. I'm going to veto Boss from Beyond, though, just as a niche protection, because that, like, it's incredibly similar to Midas's cryptid sighting move, so, you know, bit of niche protection there.
All right, well, that was one of the ones I was going to take, so I'll have to rethink.
Sorry, man. Niche protection's always good when we play these
Actually, you know what?
games.
I'll go ahead and take the last 3 then altogether. Soothe, lay on hands, and cast out evil.
Soothe. When you talk to someone for a few seconds in a quiet voice, you can calm them down, blocking any panic, anger, or other negative emotions they have. This works even if the thing that freaked them out is still present, as long as your voice can be heard. Lay on hands is, your touch can heal injury and disease. When you lay on hands on someone hurt, roll plus cool. On a 10 plus, heal 2 harm or an illness, plus they're stabilized. On a 7 to 9, you can heal the harm or illness, as on a 10 plus, but you take it into yourself. And on a miss, your aura causes them extra harm.
Fun.
And cast out evil is, you may banish an unnatural creature from your presence. Roll plus tough. On a 10 plus, it is banished! On a 7 to 9, it takes a little while for the banishing to take effect. The creature has time to make 1 or 2 actions. Either way, the banished creature is unharmed, and you have no control over where it goes. This move may be used on unnatural hunters, parentheses, e.g. the monstrous,
Hi,
end
Vivi.
parentheses.
Watch out!
And on a miss, something is keeping it here, and that is bad. You also have a divine mission. You have been put on Earth for a purpose, and there's 5 missions there. Which one do you want to go for?
Now, as we talked off recording before, I was torn between the adversary and the end of days approaches. Your role is to guide the hunters and ensure it comes to pass. I can't decide which I'm going to do.
So you want to give this to the floor? Do you guys want to have a horrible adversary, or do you guys want friendly neighbor to be trying to cause the end of the world?
Oh, wow. These are both very good options.
I feel as though, inevitably, if you are attempting to make sure it passes, you will become an antagonist for us.
I mean, who knows?
We have a very specific idea of what the end of the world means in this case. Don't worry.
Oh, cool.
It just means everything becomes a suburb, like that Vivarium movie.
Yeah, say we got it in one. Ding, ding,
That's
ding.
hilarious.
How did you describe it in our DMs before this?
As stifling conformity. When everything's the same, you become lost in a sea of faces.
Nobody will notice if you suddenly go missing, but everyone will see if your paint is the wrong shade of blue.
That's my worst nightmare.
So we could go with that, or we could go with the adversary. I don't think we, did we discuss what this adversary would specifically
The adversary is what
like?
would go against suburbs, which I described as suburban decay. Pools filled with mildew, overgrown lawns, a mailbox stuffed too full.
So not like a specific personified, like, person trying to kill you, but something more like...
A creeping, unnatural order.
Ooh.
So if you can't decide, then I guess we can throw it to the gallery.
I think we need to fight order.
Because, like, you could take the trying to ensure it come to pass. Who knows what'll happen? I know Justin said you'd become an antagonist, but we play to find out what happens. Who knows what could happen there? Maybe that happens. Maybe you'll turncoat. Who knows? But ultimately, you get the final say, Perry.
Do I want to play into decay and disorder or order and conformity?
What do you think would make the funner story?
I think for a small town like this, it's already starting to decay. It's already starting to fall apart. This is the work of my adversary.
Ooh, let's fucking
Let's
go.
go.
Yippee!
Oh, this reminds me of a very important point we didn't bring up earlier, and the fact that the friendly neighbor is divorced because people imagine suburban fathers as divorcees now.
He's divorced.
Who was your former lover?
They took his wife in the divorce.
It's just never said.
Exactly. His existence hinges on people's beliefs and ideas of what the suburbs are. And as time changed and people's ideas of the nuclear family also changed.
His wife went away.
You also get a divine weapon there below your moves.
The 5 demon bag.
And what are the demons inside this bag as a vagueness? What does this look like? If you took your 5 demon bag and hucked a demon at one of them, what would this look like?
A demon looks like an item, an everyday item, but not quite right. An alarm clock that refuses to stop ringing and has no face.
And it just like decays people to be hit with. This is a close weapon, by the way, so it's not like something you could throw. You're gonna have to get up close with this.
Yeah.
All right. You also get divine armor, which is 1 armor holy. It has a look suited to your divine origin.
Yeah, it's my grill dad apron.
He just wants to grill, for God's sake!
I imagine this apron is the only continuity between your ever-shifting form.
Yeah.
That's what I said earlier. He always looks different, except he's always wearing an apron that says, "This dad loves to grill."
It all comes full circle.
Another item inside my demon bag, a mug that says, "Don't talk to me until I've eaten this mug." It makes you eat the mug.
All right. I think that would be it for the divine. Nope. Always forgetting the ratings.
The
Always
ratings.
forgetting the stats. They call him no
The
stats
ratings,
Flux.
Flux, the ratings!
Okay, pick your ratings.
I'm
Pick
taking
your
line
rating.
2. Charm -1, cool 2, sharp -1, tough 2. All of my things give me tough 2, by the way. I'm the muscle of the group. And weird 0.
Am I the only one with charm? No, I think, Sam, you have charm, right?
Yeah, I do.
So what I'm imagining is like you're the muscle in the sense of like a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
But Valentine's Hallows is like trying to hit someone with a garden weasel.
Yeah.
Just destruction.
It's not very effective on one swing, but if you keep going.
Whereas Hallow just kind of eviscerates whatever comes in front of her, for better or for worse.
Yummy. I'm sorry, Sammy, this fucking image.
All the media says is to go outside and kill people and hurt them with knives and cut them and beat them with hammers. It's not in my nature to do these things, but what choice do I
I
have but to
love
listen?
this image.
And for those of you who, of course, cannot see this image, that is the text over an image of a stock grill dad.
They have to have seen this image before. Okay, so there's one last thing about character creation. There's one last thing. So one of the basic moves is use magic. And all hunters are presumed to be able to use magic. Like, you've been at this long enough. You've got a decently competent understanding of glyphs and sigils and incantations. If you need to do something like utilitarian, you can do that. But there's also the option for alternate weird moves. If you don't want your hunter to be a magic wielder user, but you still want to use weird, there is alternatives. I can link it. But does anyone think they might want to take an alternate weird move?
I am. It's gonna be. It'd be in the resources, actually.
Oh, right. That's right. Michael Sands, thank you, you glorious bastard, added it to the reference sheets. What alternate move are you taking, though?
I am taking telekinesis.
When you fling something with your mind, roll plus weird.
Wow.
How the fuck did this happen to Midas?
I mean, after the event, shit just kind of started floating around. This is around the time that, the man appeared.
Oh man.
This is around the time Selenus appeared. I like to think Selenus is the one actually doing this stuff.
Midas just thinks he's doing it.
Midas
Here's
is
the
just
thing,
taking
though.
credit for it.
Even on a 10 plus, you take harm from using this telekinesis, so psychic damage.
Yeah, he takes genuine psychic damage from making Selenus do this.
All right.
That's hilarious.
Does anyone else think they might want to take one of these? Magic is pretty versatile, so I wouldn't all take it, but
I do use I that's the only thing I can do.
friendly neighbor, do you also have divine magic, or
No, I'm an empath.
when you open up your brain to feel the emotions of something right there in front of you, roll plus weird.
I'm an empath.
I'd say that's pretty cool.
Me at the party thinking negative thoughts to affect all the empaths.
Oh my god.
Okay. You four still have your playbooks open, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So now that we have all of our hunters set up, we're going to be creating our history, as the game calls it. Monster of the Week, rules as written, presumes that you four are already an established monster hunting unit, and we go straight into the action. So the point being is that we are going to build that history now. You should have a section on, I believe, second page of your playbooks that says history. We're going to go around one by one, and everyone's going to choose one history for every other hunter. So this means technically every duo is going to have 2 points. And now there's 8 points on each playbook. You can use the ones listed on the playbooks. I think they're fantastic at building the sort of trope your playbook plays into. But we can also come up with our own connections too. I don't want to force you guys to do any of these. If you have a good idea for a connection, you should. Also, we can do these in any order. I kind of feel like Valentine should go first because the points on the monstrous are probably the most severe.
Who wants to be romantically obsessed with me?
Are you actually picking that?
No, but it would be funny.
So how this works, Valentine, is you get to pick one of these points, or you can make your own, and you choose another hunter that it involves with. And sometimes these also includes questions alongside them that you have to answer. But you have to do one for all 3 others.
Oh, jeez. Hey, Justin.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be more likely that Midas tried to kill Hallow or Hallow tried to eat him?
I think you tried to kill me.
Okay, Hallow tried to eat Midas once.
You lost control one time and almost killed them. Ask them how they stopped you.
How'd Midas stop her?
Well, Justin,
I shot you.
simple and to the point.
Owie!
You came rushing at me and I shot a bullet in your chest, and then you were suddenly a human again, so I was like, fuck, I just shot a person, I gotta bring you to the hospital. And then I'm looking and I'm like, the fuck, you've got so many teeth! Jesus Christ, like a fucking crocodile. So now I don't know what the fuck to do.
I don't think you had to bring her to the hospital. She just got back up.
I imagine that might have snapped you out of it, being shot by a bullet.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
if it didn't, I was going to continue firing those because you tried to eat me.
No, yeah.
I do not trust you all too much, truthfully.
Yeah, I expected that one.
I mean, you're coworkers still. Push comes to shove, you're still gonna,
He hates my ass, though.
Midas is like Batman. He's got like an exit plan for every single person in this group.
Okay. We'll come back to Midas. You've got 2 more connections to make. You can come up with your own too if you want.
I have no ideas. It's a problem. I feel like I should not have gone first.
I went first because this was like probably the most severe ones. If you want, we can circle back to you.
I think we should. These are all like really strong,
Alright.
and I don't know if any of them fit quite right. Except Midas killing me.
Okay, we'll come back to you then. Who wants to go next then?
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Okay, neighbor, friendly neighbor.
All right.
You've got histories too. What are you thinking?
Well, first up with Millie. They, at heart, are a good and righteous person. You must help them stay that way.
Oh,
Hey neighbor, you have a surrogate daughter now.
wow.
You're just like every divorced dad needs to have either a daughter or some rando that he projects the feelings of wanting a daughter onto. It's easy.
Which is really funny because Millie's like 30.
For Midas, they're the person you go to for advice on mortal stuff. Sex, food, drugs, television, etc. Hello, Midas. What is poggers?
Oh my god.
Fucking Okay, so do you remember when I explained what Twitch is?
Yes.
Fuck, I don't know if I've gone through emotes with you. I guess emojis would be a place to start. Do you have a cell phone?
No.
Okay. Got one more.
And then, maybe how do you feel about their prayer, perhaps an informal or even unconscious prayer, summoned you?
Explain.
Now, would it be wrong to think that perhaps one thing you desire in life was to just be the normal person you were raised as?
Ooh, I suppose so.
The chance to be the suburbanite you never will be.
Get her ass, I guess.
Friendly neighbor, you have 2 daughters.
A second daughter has hit the podcast.
Help.
All right, boys, we are conducting podcast for people with daddy issues.
Yes.
That's every podcast.
My 2 beautiful normal children and Midas.
And Midas.
And Uncle Midas.
So are we going on to the next person?
Yeah, do you want to go or does Millie want to go
Yes,
next?
because on the note of Uncle Midas, Millie,
Yep, I'm listening.
you're my sister's kid.
Hello? Okay.
That was really matter of fact.
Actually, this is interesting. This is actually really interesting because Millie doesn't speak to her family anymore.
Oh my god.
What happened there?
So you know how I said that Millie started researching and trying to practice hemomancy as like a young kid? Like you know those kids that get really obsessed into like researching magic or dragons or whatever. We all knew the kid with the dragonology book, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all knew them.
Millie was that kind of kid and was really obsessed with trying to practice and learn magic, except it worked. And she started actually being able to use hemomancy. And around that time, Carnival came to town and saw this strange magic child, and they stole her.
Oh,
Oh,
And she's been with the Bedlam Carnival ever since.
What's Millie's mother / Midas's sister's name?
Ruby.
And is that now Ruby Bazaar or is it another name?
I'm gonna say that that's Ruby Bazaar. I'm gonna say that she like took her husband's name.
Okay. Question, what was that like, Midas, when you realized that, like, this 30-year-old woman was your sister's kidnapped child?
That was a fucking terrifying reveal. Like, I'm sure they had like a casual conversation about parents, and he's like, "What did you say your last name was again?" Because Bazaar is a really uncommon last name. And like he's like thinking about like numbers in his head. Like his sister is his older sister because these two are not all too far apart in age. Midas is probably a bit older, but not like would have been like a high schooler when they were in elementary. So like he put together like these numbers and stuff, and it's like, no fucking way. Like he doesn't talk to his sister that much himself. He doesn't really talk to anyone in his family, but like, on account of the batshit crazy stuff. But like, it's like, oh.
Millie's reaction to this, because like I said, she hasn't talked to her family in a real long time, and she's pretty well invested in the Bedlam Carnival. This is all pretty normal to her by now. I think her reaction to finding out she's related to Midas is just
That's
like,
your uncle.
it's just like, that's pretty cool.
And that's it.
That's Uncle Midas. Your uncle is a famous television host who does not use his actual name, so nobody knows that they're even related, really.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't know I was related to a TV man.
So that's specifically a relative decide between you how close. You have 2 more.
This one, I'm not going to use one of the dots. I like to think that for a while, Friendly Neighbor was my designated driver. I am sure Friendly Neighbor has like a project car that has been in the works.
Not the project car.
So Friendly Neighbor drives home my shitty Chevy Impala when I've had a little bit too much.
wow.
Instead of like we go to a bar together. I'm sure Friendly Neighbor doesn't drink, but instead learns of the human world while I get absolutely trashed.
I get wasted.
And that's kind of how you met. How did you learn that Friendly Neighbor was not human?
Well, after 3 nights in the bar, I noticed that he didn't eat or drink anything. And I asked him about it, and I was like, "You alright, man?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just don't need to eat or drink." And I was like, "You don't need to what?"
He's very forthcoming.
Yeah, just very forward about that. Just like,
And then I asked him, "What do you mean you don't need to eat or drink?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm an angel." And then I really had to stop and wonder what the fuck was going on in my life.
And then I took another drink.
And then, yeah, and then I took another shot.
So you now also have the second connection between Midas and Hallow.
I tried to murder you. What did you do afterwards?
Or this could be before, too.
Would the curse be like a physical thing that you're dealing with?
Yes.
I mean, it causes Hallow's mouth to do that, so...
And she needs to eat organs.
That's pretty physical.
I meant more of like, I'm looking at some creature or force is stalking them. Ask them what it is, then decide if you've told them about it or if they are still happily unaware.
I don't know if it's like another thing is following her. I mean, she's already cursed. What's there to keep track of?
I actually do have a suggestion if you're looking for something similar to that.
Shoot.
In your researches, you found accounts and pictures of someone matching their description perfectly, but long before they were born. Tell them if you have mentioned this.
I've certainly seen similar creatures, dating back to the 1800s even. Everybody looks at me like I'm a fucking madman. And no, I haven't told you about this at all.
Cool. I'm sure Hallow really appreciates that.
I haven't given you any of this information, and why would I?
I tried to eat you.
You did try to munch me.
Don't get eaten.
Just don't get eaten, idiot.
Alright, so... Millie, you've got 8 here, or you can make your own.
Hey, friendly neighbor.
yeah.
How do we feel about this hunter was chasing a monster when the show was in town and thought it might be one of the crew. Was it? How did you resolve things?
Oh boy, I like that one.
So here's my vision, friendly neighbor, he's an angel, he's the divine, he's trying to track down some demon, some agent of chaos, the suburban decay, and he ends up, because the Bedlam Carnival is always traveling, running into the Bedlam Carnival, and because they're very chaotic, thinking that the being that he was after is somehow a part of it. And then he ends up meeting Millie, who they talk it through, and she explains the carnival to him and all that. And that's when Friendly Neighbor gets his side of the connection, which is the wanting to keep Millie on the right track and all of that.
What kind of creature was it? What was the monster?
I'm sorry, but first thing top of my head, Roglon gnome.
Wow. Rogue Lawn
They got
Gnome.
gnomes in this shit?
You get back here, you little.
So Friendly Neighbor was after the Rogue Lawn Gnome, and the Rogue Lawn Gnome was not a part of the Bedlam Carnival, but tried to hide in it and be like, no, I'm just when the carnival has weird freak shows and stuff, I'm just very small, but no, it's a lawn gnome.
I'm a bearded child. I have a little balloon.
I'm just a little guy!
And that's how Millie and Friendly Neighbor that was over the Rogue Lawn Gnome that tried to hide in the carnival.
I love it. 2 more. And I'm not going to let you use estranged family member for Midas. You gotta do something
I was
new.
actually not going to.
Oh?
I was going to use, in order to link into that, to the fact that we've made them related, this hunter knew you as a kid. Ask what town you both hail from. Did you run away to join the show?
Interesting.
How do you feel about that?
I like that a lot, actually. Though I've placed Midas's origins somewhere in northern New York.
It's not too far away from the Michigan-ish era.
Yeah, it's like a 4-5 hour drive from there. Maybe probably a bit more than that, but the kind of thing where a traveling circus over the course of probably 25-30 years could certainly get that far out.
Oh, absolutely.
And Midas is a guy who travels a lot.
Yeah. So I imagine that, when Midas was younger, his older sister Ruby, had her kid, and, he obviously, knew about the fact that he had,
A niece.
He obviously knew about that, and they knew each other to a degree before Millie went missing.
It's the kind of thing where, it's like that relative that you kind of forget about that you have.
Yeah, like he has so much shit going on in his life that like that niece that he had when he was in like high school has just kind of fallen to the back of his mind.
Yeah, like it's become a completely separate thing.
So they're both from like the New Yorkish area then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
I love the
one more connection with Hallow.
How do you feel about the idea that at some point in Hollow's, running around trying to, keep her shit together in life, handle her curse, at some point, out of a need for like money or what have you, briefly worked at the carnival?
I could see it. What do you think she'd be doing?
Because this one says, this hunter worked the show with you. Ask them for how long. It was at least a few months. Time enough to become friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see Hollow, like seeing the Bedlam Carnival and their very, macabre illusions and being, either, hey, maybe I can get some goddamn food here, or being like, hey, maybe I can blend in here for, the time being, one way or the other, and ended up briefly joining, but ending up leaving, probably, because it just really, wasn't for her. She doesn't want to be in this macabre environment. She wants to be a normal person.
Mm-hmm.
She was around for a while, even if just as a stage assistant or freaking the audience out with fucked up faces, whatever you think she would do.
Mm-hmm.
And became buddies with Millie to the point that they kept in touch, but was eventually I can't embrace this. I want to be fucking normal, man.
I want to be normal.
What do you think of that, BA?
I like it. I think it could work. It helps. The thing about Hallow is that she moves around a lot because, you can only eat so many people in one area.
And how I've imagined Flux and I discussed this a little bit off mic, because, the monstrous is obviously a very... We also don't want everyone to just, not like
Yes,
Hallow. That sucks,
You are
you
still
know?
monster hunters. You are still the heroes of this story.
But Hallow still needs to eat people.
So how I kind of saw Millie's perception of Hollow was, this is how I said it, sympathetic but cautious. She understands Hollow literally cannot help it and doesn't want to be doing this, and is kind of convinced she can somehow solve Hollow's problem. She cannot, by the way. Is also kind of freaked out because of her own fear of, actual genuine death, and tries really hard not to think about it too deeply to avoid that fear, which leads to not really taking it seriously, / thinking she can fix it somehow. So overall, cool with Hollow, friendly, but cautious and maybe a little insensitive.
Because Hallow's like, don't worry, guys. I also don't want to be doing this.
I also don't want me to be doing what I'm doing.
Hallow eating a liver, I also don't want me to be doing what I'm doing.
Valentine, how long did Hallow work at the show at the Bedlam Carnival?
Oh, probably only a few months,
Okay.
if that.
All right.
Not long. Enough that she and Millie grew close, but
Of course.
Hallow's not a performer.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Hallow, we're circled now back to you. Hopefully that gave you a bit more
We're
of an idea of what
back.
ones you'd want to give the others.
I think so. Close relations to friendly neighbor, not in an actual way, but in a friendly neighbor promises her a sort of a normal life kind of way, and she's kind of attached to the idea of that.
It's sort of like a stand-in father figure.
Yeah, this weird-ass angel might be able to give me a normal life.
I can fix you.
No one can fix her.
So you have close relations being I wish you were my dad, and vaguely I wish you were my daughter is what I'm getting from this.
Yeah, kind of
Okay.
Yeah.
Hallow wants friendly neighbor to be proud of her so bad.
No, this is great.
Look at me, Dad. I mean, friendly neighbor.
Yeah.
And one more link
Hallow and
between
Millie.
Hallow and Millie, yeah.
I think Hallow and Millie for you fought together against the odds and prevailed might be interesting.
What were the odds?
Maybe the odds were Hallow was unable to stop herself and ate somebody after a show, and Millie and her had to fucking scramble to cover it up. Oops! Though I would like to ask Sammy's opinion as well.
So it's less that you fought together and more that you were tied to a killing that no one can talk about.
I was thinking either that or maybe Hollow snapped and went like apeshit on somebody, and as hollows are out to do, she and Millie had to end up working together to scramble to like somehow keep this person alive and pretend that this is all like a part of the show.
Oh, that's cool. It happened visually. People watched it.
They had to like improvising their way through this and trying to keep the audience thinking this is just a bit, while also trying to not let this person actually
Just
die.
ha 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 ha. Whoa!
So who was this person anyways?
I almost said a trapeze artist. We don't have those.
Okay, but I feel like
Yeah.
trapeze artists in the Bedlam Circus's whole, like, their whole job is to fuck up and, like, fall and snap their neck.
The trapeze artists at the Bedlam Circus are actually contortionists.
Yeah, their whole job is to miss and fall and, like, splatter, because that's what the audience is there for, right?
And that was why this particular incident was having to fight against the odds, because this was not a controlled situation.
This was not controlled.
Well, if it's an incident that's important enough to note in one of your histories, I would like a name.
I'll come up with a name. Hold on. Ichabod.
Ichabod.
It could be Ichabod. That'd be funny. I looked up Halloween name generator and it gave me Ichabod for obvious reasons.
Yeah, the question is, did he make it? What do we
That's
think,
entirely
Leah?
up to both of you.
Can you read that, the one we're using again?
You fought together against the odds and prevailed. So he's alive.
Okay, yeah, I'd say since we prevailed, he did
He
make
made it.
He's missing a kidney.
We gaslit the fuck out of that guy.
He actually needed his appendix removed, so it worked out in his favor.
His appendix had actually burst mid-performance, and we saved him.
Yes, this was entirely for his benefit, clearly.
I think he should be Ichabod Darkspell. This is his name.
Ichabod Darkspell, my god. Yeah, sure.
Life is beautiful.
So that's all of our histories now, isn't it? Now we've got our hunter team, we've got the town they'll be investigating, but I have one last question for you, and that's specifically why you're here. I want you to take one of the mysteries or hooks or plot points or leads we talked about earlier and choose one. This is the one specific thing that caught your eye and brought you to this town, and this oddity will be the hook for our first hunt this season.
Really?
Ooh. Well, I mean, our options are the alleyway or the roadkill.
There's also the wine rain.
Oh, the wine rain too.
And the paper.
The paper's kind of tied into the alley. What was the fifth one?
Sunday.
And,
Sunday.
Oh God, Sunday.
and the missing Sunday.
I forgot that there's not.
I feel like wine rain might be the most pressing of those.
Yeah, it's just raining wine.
I don't know, guys. I feel like we gotta figure out why they don't know why there's no Sundays. I feel like friendly neighbor would like to know why there is no Sabbath day.
Of course. When are you guys supposed to be going to white people church?
Okay, guys. Okay, guys.
When are we supposed to be going to church?
Okay.
Help me.
I think it'll mainly be about no Sunday. I'm trying to tie together as many of these as possible. They find out there's no Sunday because they hear about the fucking wine rain that happened on a Sunday for normal people, and they're like, "Oh shit,
Like just outside of town.
let's look into the wine rain. What happened on that Sunday?" And they get their hands on a calendar from the town, and they're like, "Hey, where's Sunday?"
And they go to ask somebody. It's like, hey, do you hear about the wine rain yesterday? And it's like, you mean on Saturday? There wasn't any wine rain. Yes, there was. What do you mean Saturday? Today's Monday. Yesterday was Sunday.
Yesterday was what?
Yesterday was what?
So do they like?
Wait, you guys have 7 days in a week? What the fuck?
That's weird. Weirdos.
And mind you, this entire season's going to take place as you investigate this town. This is just the first thing. You're going to investigate this and you're going to stay here because this town is supremely fucked up.
I think we need to figure out Sunday first and foremost.
Oh my god. I didn't think you would choose the Sundays.
Sunday.
Sunday.
I thought
Sunday.
that was just going to be a weird thing in the background. Now I have to figure out a mystery involving the missing Sundays.
We can do wine rain.
We can do
I'm not
wine rain.
against wine rain.
No, we're all in on Sunday now. All right, that's it for setup then. And when we return, you four hunters will begin your journey into the town of Fringewater, Michigan.